Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we're talking about American Express, but a set of cards or product line that you might not be familiar with, and that is called American Express Serve cards. So when it comes to these, we'll break down what is Amex Serve, how they work, and what are some interesting use cases and why you may actually want to consider having one of these in your arsenal. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. So, of course, when it comes to the world of credit and finance, American Express is a big name. They're one of the biggest in the game. They make credit cards, they make charge cards, they have a ton of co-branded cards. Of course, they're starting to get into the checking account game as well. They also have Amex Serve cards. So what are Amex Serve cards? Well, it's not a credit card, and it's kind of like a debit card, except it's what you would call a reloadable debit card, if you will. So if you think about it, if you're familiar, like you go to the grocery store, you see those Visa Vanilla Reload cards, right? It's technically one of those, but, American Express's version, and it's not, it's not meant to be disposable, right? That's why those Visa cards are basically like you would give them as a gift card, basically. Some of them you can reload, but this Amex Serve card is basically meant to function as your primary payment method, and you would reload it. So that's what we're going to talk about. But again, it does function just like a debit card does, or even a credit card, from the standpoint that you swipe it. It's accepted everywhere that American Express is accepted at, except this is, again, it's not a credit product. You could think of it as a debit card, again, reloadable debit card. So how does this work exactly? If it's reloadable, how do I get cash on it? How do I get cash off of it? Probably your biggest question to start. So we'll start with that so we understand how it works. Then we'll look at the options that they have. Then we'll talk about some benefits that they have, and of course some use cases to close this one out. So here you have it. Why or how does this work? So it's defined from their side as two ways: money in versus money out, as you might expect. Credits and debits, one of the oldest schools forms of finance. So you can put money on this card by direct depositing it, from your employer. You can get your money directly sent there. They'll give you an account number and routing number. You can reload cash onto it by going to like a store. They have set stores they partner with. You can reload cash. You can ACH transfer from like a Bank of America account to it if you wanted to. You can use a debit card. American Express credit cards, weirdly enough, will work. Not other cards, though. You could obviously cash a check to it, and then money requests as well, like request money from other Serve members. Now, how do you get that money out? Well, you can withdraw it from the ATM as cash. They have set ATMs in their network. They have a cash pickup system by RIA. To be honest, I don't know much about them. You can send money to other Serve accounts. You can do money transfers, usually back out to another account. Cash back at purchase. Back in the day, if you swipe your card, they ask you if you want any cash back, at the transaction point. And then cash from a bank. Some banks you can actually walk into and basically withdraw cash off of it, same as you would a debit card. So overall, that's kind of how it works. Now you see the reloadable point. So again, a credit card, like a regular Amex Blue Cash Preferred, is going to have a credit limit that you pull from. A debit card is going to, be linked to your checking account, right? So again, it is basically like a debit card in that sense, because again, it's going to basically be tied to account that you're putting money in, no different than if you had a Chase debit card and it's getting, your direct deposit goes over there, you're using it, right? You cannot, spend more than what's in your account. That's how it works. So, basically I would think of it the same way as you do your regular debit card tied to your checking account. And of course, we have a full video on debit cards that I can link down below for you if you're interested in some cashback earning ones. Now, with that though, okay, what is so special about this Serve card? In the beginning, we did mention there are already Visa reloads that you can simply buy off the shelf. Well, Amex has a few different flavors of the Amex Serve card. Some of these you don't necessarily see every day in the regular Visa reloadable gift cards that you would again just give as a gift. So let's take a look at the options we have if this is sounding interesting to you. So again, we're not going to go into too much detail here, but they have a few, I think 4 total. So they have the first one here. They don't give them cool names. So they have the green one that's basically for the cash inclined. So you say, hey, whether you're looking to budget, pay bills, online, manage day-to-day expenses, free reloads means you can add cash often without incurring fees, load today and tomorrow anytime. So this is basically their basic version, right? Now they have for the reward seeker, this guy, dark gray one here. So get rewarded with unlimited 1% cash back when you spend money in stores or online. Basically, when you use it, the funds are available to add to your account as soon as the transaction settles with us, so you don't have to wait to enjoy the rewards. So that's nice. They're paying you, up front as opposed to where credit cards pay you at the end of the billing cycle. Then they have for the direct deposit, so you can have this lighter gray one, silver one, if you will. So have a peace of mind. Your money will get there if it needs to go. You get a smooth process and free direct deposits up to 2 days early, so they'll give you your money a little bit early there, so your money will be there when you need it. All for no monthly fee when you direct deposit $500 or more within a statement period. So as long as you do that, they'll continue to honor the no fees. And then they have the blue one for the flexible spender. So the account gives you freedom to spend when and where you want on your own terms with no hidden or monthly charges. You only pay a small fee when you make a purchase, know what you pay as you go. So those are the four, and those are kind of the hook for each one of them. Now there is this nice summary chart that they have here that kind of breaks them down. So we'll spend a little bit of time on this. So again, if you're looking, you would go here and basically what are you most interested in? So you can see the free, so if you go across the top, actually, you can see card purchase price. You can get one online for free. They'll give you one of them when you open an account, or if you go in a retail store, it'll cost you $1.50. So obviously, get it online. Now going down the line here, unfortunately, see there is a monthly fee. So you're used to annual fees on credit cards. There are monthly fees depending on which one you get. Now obviously, the 1% cashback rewards is going to cost you about $8. The rest of them cost you about $7. And of course, the pay as you go does not have a fee, at least a monthly fee. Cash reloads here, again, they say you add over 45,000 different locations, no fee there. Cash reloads up to $3.95. So some places it can cost you to reload cash, which is a little bit unfortunate there. There are no transaction fees except for the blue one that has a $1 transaction fee, and then ATM withdrawals. You can see there's no fee except for the blue one, again, $2.25. Now, while we're on the topic here, as far as benefits go, again, they name some of them, but they're going to get early direct deposit. At least one of them will, which, a lot of neo-fintech banks have started doing this, which basically means historically people get paid bi-weekly every other Friday, and your money will be available like 2-3 a.m. on that Friday. Well, technically, your employer sends that wire, sends that ACH, and it gets to the destination bank maybe Wednesday, even Thursday, right? But they're technically waiting for everything to settle in the background before they give you the funds, right? So what a lot of these banks have started doing was saying, hey, we can, as soon as we get the money, because there's a high probability that the employer who sent it, they have, they're a legit company, is good for it, so we'll give you that early as a little bit of a benefit. So that is a benefit of one of these cards. Now, in addition to that, they also have access to American Express offers. So if you know from their credit cards, that's also, you could think of it as like little coupons, if you will, that you can add to your card and get discounts or earn extra cash back, at various stores that Amex partners with. It's a nice to have Amex offer. Sometimes they have good things, sometimes they don't. It's really hit or miss, but it doesn't cost you anything normally. We don't think of Amex offers costing us anything, so, you can usually find some good stuff there, and that's a nice feature to have there. So, at this point, you're probably looking at this and like, well, why are we even talking about this? Why would you consider this? What are the actual use cases? And this kind of splits into two separate paths. There's a path for someone who's maybe trying to get up and running and established, and there's a path for maybe someone who's an extreme card churner or rewards hunter, if you will. So first use case here would be, maybe you're new to the country, new here, you just have some issues with banks in the past, a really bad check score, and you simply cannot get a checking account, get a debit card. Because yes, there are plenty of free checking accounts out there that will give you a debit card as part of them. There are even cashback debit cards, like the Discover checking account has a 1% cashback debit card, right? Why would you not go with one of those options? Well, sometimes it's not necessarily an option right away for people, so this could be an option to bridge the gap. Yes, obviously you can pay cash, but if you're trying to buy things online, obviously you can't cram a Jackson into the computer. I don't even know, they don't have optical drives anymore, so that definitely wouldn't work. So again, you're going to need something like this, and again, it's going to be, for $7, you can earn some rewards, but again, that $7 a month while you get yourself situated is probably going to make your life easier than only having cash. Some folks don't really like banks or trust banks. Now, again, Amex technically is a bank, so I don't know how far away this actually gets you from banks, but it doesn't. You don't have a huge commitment on banks because you can, put in as much money as you want. So there's also that. So those are your main use cases for that. Or I suppose if you had like children or something, maybe, and you didn't want to. I guess back in my day, you just got like cash to take to school and give to people. I don't think you're doing that anymore. So, if you wanted to give one of these to a kid or something like that, also potential use case. But again, the bigger use cases here that I'm sure you figured out now is you can reload this with a debit card. Now, I went online all through a bunch of different forums to find out if people were still able to do this. But what people like to do is they like to take something like the Chase Ink Cash Card. They issue 5% back at office supply stores. And sometimes office supply stores run these sales on Visa reloadable gift cards or MasterCard gift cards, right? The vanilla ones that you buy for like $500. Then you throw them away afterwards. And we talked about it at the beginning of the show. But then they want to liquidate them, right? Because you're trying to do it to churn and get the points, right? It's a form of manufactured spending. So if you can reload them onto your Amex Serve card and they go to the ATM and pull out your cash, you could have a never-ending loop of manufactured spending. Because those reloadable cards, they will function as a debit card. If you look on the back, there'll be a PIN number and everything, right? They don't function as credit cards, they function as debit cards. From what I can tell, at the time of taping, which is like early September, people are still able to do this. Now, it's still American Express, and if you're familiar with American Express from the credit card game, they are still super sensitive about it. Years ago, they did cut out people being able to reload other credit cards onto these to hit minimum spend. You can still use Amex cards to reload these, of course, but not regular other credit cards like a Chase or Bank of America. So I say all to say, I don't know. I'd still be careful. I think it still works from what I've seen on forums. I'd still be careful with it because it's still American Express. They may care less. But, you could look at that strategy if you're doing that, hitting the office supply stores, even get do something like that. That could be advantageous. And you could easily make back your money, especially if you're buying the gift cards on sale. So, of course, I put that out there as an option. I give you guys the options and you decide what kind of strategies you want to run. But again, if you can get it for the other side, if you can get a checking account on your own, I would just go with the regular checking account, for free. Get a 1% cashback debit card if you don't want, a credit card that doesn't cost you anything. This, again, I would leave for folks who are just trying to get back up into the game, or my aggressive rewards hunters out there. So anyways, guys, that's been American Express Serve Cards. Of course, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, then go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Question for you guys is, let me know if you have any experience using Amex Serve cards, especially if you're a rewards hunter out there. I'd love to hear what kind of strategies you are employing. Maybe use an alias or something, burner account or whatever the throwaway they call it on Reddit. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching and talk to you very soon in the next one.